Hey guys, what's up? Dax here. Today we are here with a preview of the 2014 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the final round of the season, and still a championship to be won, of course, and I'm so excited for this. This should be some of the best racing of the whole season so far. There's a lot on the line, obviously the championship. There are so many people down the field in close battles as well, so it's not just for the championship we're seeing a close battle, it's all the way down the field. There are really good battles on, but in this video I'm going to be mainly focusing on the battle between Hamilton and Rosberg. I've worked out some point situations of where Hamilton and Rosberg would have to finish, etc, etc. So we'll start off with the sort of most likely one in a way. Would say that Rosberg would end up winning the race with Hamilton in second. If Hamilton finished second, he's champion, whatever happens to Rosberg. So yeah, if Hamilton finishes top 2 in this race in Abu Dhabi, he's champion, whatever. But obviously if Hamilton maybe has a bad start or maybe has a puncture or something, we don't know what happens in Formula 1. This crazy stuff happens all the time. But say Rosberg wins the race but Hamilton finishes third, that means that Rosberg is the champion, because obviously double points in Abu Dhabi really makes a big difference, because obviously first position in this race is going to be 50 points, second place in this race is going to be 34 points, so a 16-point difference between first and second in this race, but a 17-point difference between Hamilton and Rosberg in this championship. And obviously if they drew on points, Hamilton would win the championship because he's got more wins, so Hamilton has got a good situation in hand here. 17 points, you would say, going into a normal championship where, to be honest, if there was 25 points, you know, just normal points for this last round, you would say he's pretty much got a 99% chance of winning the race. Unless something really silly happened, he would have normally won this championship. But the double points has really mixed it up. So Hamilton has to finish on the top 2 places to win the championship if Rosberg wins, and also third place would not be good enough for Hamilton if Rosberg won, for example. So now we've got some other sort of permutations I thought I'd go through. So if Rosberg finished second, Hamilton would have to finish 5th to win the championship. So we're just maybe predicting maybe some, I don't know, it's Abu Dhabi. Sometimes there's rain, sometimes there's not, but generally it's a dry race, dry qualifying and all that. But say one of Hamilton's problems that he's had in qualifying reoccurs again, and he has to start near the back of the field again. Say that happens, and Rosberg maybe had contact at turn 1. Say Rosberg finished second, Hamilton would have to finish 5th to still secure the championship. If Hamilton finished in 5th, if Hamilton finished in 6th, Rosberg would win the championship. And if Rosberg finished in 3rd position, Hamilton would have to finish in 6th position to win the championship. But if Hamilton finished 7th, Rosberg would win the championship. So there's lots and lots of stuff happening, but you'd sort of expect both the Mercedes to be in the top 3. Who knows, Abu Dhabi, you know, Vettel's been pretty good around here in the past. And Hamilton, you know, I said in Brazil that Hamilton, I think, had won one race, but he obviously hadn't won a race in Brazil, so I'm sorry about that mistake. He's never been that amazing at Brazil. Obviously, he's had quite a few mistakes over the years, including a couple of them in 2007, which weren't his fault, but we don't need to talk about that. So, as I said, top 2 for Hamilton will secure him the championship, whatever happens to Rosberg. Rosberg, if Hamilton retires, okay, this is an interesting one. If Hamilton retires, where does Rosberg need to finish? Well, he needs to finish in 5th place. 6th place is 16 points, but obviously that's not enough because there's a 17 points deficit. So he needs to finish in 5th place if Hamilton retires from this race to win the championship. And obviously if Rosberg retires from the race, Hamilton is champion, whatever, because he's got the lead in the championship already. So hopefully that sort of summed up everything. What I'm going to quickly do is run down the points, how it would be with double points, in case you're a little bit confused. So first position would be 50 points, second position would be 34 points, third position would be 30 points, fourth position would be 24 points, fifth position would be 20 points, sixth position would be 16 points, seventh place would be 12 points, eighth place would be 8 points, ninth place would be 4 points, and 10th place would be 2 points. So definitely sort of finishing towards the back end of the top 10. Say you finished 7th, you'd normally get 6 points, you'd get 12, so it could really help out some of the teams which are, you know, someone like McLaren and Force India battling in the Constructors' Championship. Those sort of positions towards the back end of the sort of from 5th to 10th, going to be key for them, especially with double points here. It could really help them out, considering Force India haven't been on good form recently. And yeah, so we can look down the championship a little bit here and also talk about some other positions which are quite close in the championship. Well, we've got a very close battle between Vettel, Alonso and Bottas. Vettel's on 159 points, Alonso's on 157 points, and Bottas is on 156 points. This is all for 4th place in the championship, because Daniel Ricciardo has secured 3rd place in the championship now, so no one can take that away from him. So for Vettel, Alonso and Bottas, it's going to be quite big to get into the top 4 or top 5, depending who you are. Obviously Vettel and Alonso probably don't care too much where they finish in that, but Bottas, if he can get into the top 4 in the championship, that shows a great season for him. And Massa is not that far behind Button. He's, what, I think 8 points behind Button, so another strong race here in Abu Dhabi for Massa would be good for him. He might be able to leapfrog Button, especially with the double points in this round. Kevin Magnussen and Raikkonen are very close in the championship, and Raikkonen, outside the top 10 in the championship, needs a good result here in Abu Dhabi, otherwise he will be outside the top 10. So basically Magnussen needs to finish ahead of Raikkonen to secure that position in the championship. So if Raikkonen beats Magnussen in this race, you're pretty much certain that Raikkonen would be ahead of him in this championship. But if they draw on points, obviously Magnussen would get the overall 10th place, because he has got that 2nd place that we got in, or he got in Australia, sorry. And not that far behind them, in all honesty, guys, is Perez. He's 6 points behind Raikkonen, so there's quite a close battle there between Magnussen, Raikkonen and Perez. Perez a little bit off the back of them, but they are separated by not that many points, so I think it'll be interesting. Perez has had quite a decent run of things in the sort of second half of the season, so maybe we can see him having a good result here in Abu Dhabi, but he has not had a good result in the last 2 races. He's actually retired in 15th in the last 2 rounds. People that might be looking for really important points, Grosjean and Maldonado would be incredibly important if they got points here in Abu Dhabi. I don't think it would do anything different to the constructors table, because they are just so far behind. But if they have a stellar weekend and get some really good points, there's a 20-point gap to Toro Rosso, but who knows, crazy things can happen in Abu Dhabi, and who knows whether it will. But if they can get a good result, a really good result in Abu Dhabi, we might somehow out of nowhere see Lotus overtake Toro Rosso, but I highly doubt it. Marussia, I think they're definitely not coming to the last round. I think they've definitely said that there's no buyer. Sauber will be going to the last round, obviously, even though they have had financial issues over the last couple of years. They want to get some points. Maybe they can jump Marussia and Lotus in this final round, considering over the whole season they probably have been better than Marussia and Lotus, and it's just really been consistently sort of 11th to 14th for them this season, which just kind of sucks because they've sort of just missed out on the points every single time. Caterham, I'm recording this video a bit in advance, but they've got this crowdfunding thing, and as I'm recording this, it hasn't ended, but who knows whether that's going to actually work out for them, whether they're going to have that crowdfunding effort. Who knows who's driving for them. By this point, you'd have known who's driving for them, but as I'm recording this, I don't, so sorry about that, but you obviously will have found that out through Autosport or whatever. But in terms of constructors, Ferrari are 44 points behind Mercedes. Sorry, no they're not. Ferrari are 44 points behind Williams, and it's unlikely Ferrari will beat them because there's just such a big gap there, and Williams have been in really good form in this sort of second half of the season. Ever since Austria, Williams have been pretty much near the podium every single race, which is really good to see. And obviously Ferrari have only had 1 podium this year. Oh, sorry, 2 podiums, both with Fernando Alonso. So yeah, in terms of that, the championship is looking pretty interesting. Why do I keep saying Mercedes? McLaren look like they're out of distance of Force India. Force India probably going to be sitting there in 6th place in the championship unless something really weird happens. But so yeah, now it comes to the part of the video where I need to talk about what's happening in terms of the race, what I think is going to happen with that. Well, it's going to be a really good race in my opinion, because I'm looking forward to this so much. It's one of the most interesting championship battles I've seen in my sort of life so far. I missed a lot of the Schumacher days, which were some really crazy stuff happening with him and all the championships he won. But when I really got into Formula 1 in 2007, obviously we had Hamilton going for the title in that, and in 08 as well, 09, nice to see Button win. And then since 2010, obviously we've seen Vettel pretty much dominate everything, even though 2010 was a bit of an outsider, but he still managed to go and get that championship. So yeah, what am I predicting in terms of the winners and everything? Well, this is going to be a pretty bold statement, but I think that Hamilton probably will wrap up the championship because he has looked just looked better over this whole season so far, and I sort of expect him to win this championship. But it would be nice to see Rosberg win it. I'm not gonna lie, guys, because I'm even. I don't really support either of these guys, but I think as Hamilton's already won one, it would be nicer for me to see Rosberg win this championship, just because he hasn't won one so far, and it might be the last time he's ever going to win. Even have a chance of winning a championship. Obviously, Hamilton, he's had so much success in his past, he can probably afford to move to any team that has a good car because they'll all accept him into their team. So I'm expecting Hamilton to win this championship. If he doesn't, it's quite a big disaster for him. He's battled through really hard luck this season, and somehow he's going into this final round with a really comfy lead. But who knows? It's Formula 1, and yeah, but I'm still expecting him to win this. In terms of who's going to finish 4th in the championship, I kind of actually expect it to be Bottas. He's been a lot faster than the rest of those guys throughout the whole season. Alonso and Vettel, he's just sort of outclassed them this year, and I think that he probably will be 4th position Bottas. But who knows whether the Abu Dhabi track will really suit the Williams cars. Yeah, I don't know whether it's going to really suit them, or whether it's more of a Red Bull track. I'm not too sure. But in terms of a top 5 of qualifying, even though I said that Hamilton probably will go on to win this championship, I think that Rosberg will probably win the race and also qualifying. So for qualifying, I'll go for a top 5 of Rosberg, Hamilton, and then probably Bottas, but who knows? Massa's been on good form recently, so maybe it's going to be him. And 4th place, I'll go with Massa. 5th place, I'll go with Ricciardo. Then for the race, I'll say 1st place, it'll be Rosberg. 2nd place, Hamilton. 3rd place, probably Bottas once again. Then 4th place in the race, probably Danny Ricciardo. And then 5th place in the race, I'll say Massa or Vettel. I'm not too sure what's going on, but there's just so much stuff happening in this championship. I'm looking forward to it, guys, and I know this one's been a bit longer than normal, but thank you once again for tuning in. I do appreciate it, and hopefully you did enjoy the video. And yeah, so until next time, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and hopefully you'll see more of these in the future. I'll probably do a sort of a review of the championship in about a week or two's time. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the race weekend, and hopefully it's going to be a great championship battle, and hopefully it goes down to the wire. So thanks for watching again, guys. It's been X, and I'm out here. Goodbye.